Voices of War, Horde versus Alliance.
Hello, everybody! What? Look at you! Oh my god, I have chills covering up. Look at all of you!
Oh,
Every year I do this thing like nobody's gonna come. I don't know if anybody's gonna come this year. I love that you're here. How are you all doing? Everything good? I wish you could see what I see. I see so many great people and beautiful faces. I'm so happy to see you all. Tell me, who's from my original voice actor stage tribe? Who's seen my crazy? Yay, some of you. Well, I'm so happy to still be here doing this, being on a panel again, bringing some more amazing actors. So thank you all for being here. How's everybody? Everybody's good? Life's good? Everything's fine? When I used to have the voice actor stage, I dreamed of having coffee with everybody. Anybody remember that? I wanted coffee talk, and we'd all hang out and have a coffee. I hope you all are good. I've missed you all. I'm very happy to be back here. It's always such a gift and a surprise every year when I get to do this and be here and bring my favorite actors and bring you. So thank you for being here. Thank you. So, like, I can't even breathe. I'm so excited. I'm totally nerding out right now. It's ridiculous. So for those of you who don't know me, I realized I never introduced myself. My name is Andrea Toyas, Senior Casting and Voice Director at Blizzard. So, for those of you who don't know, it's my job to work with the game teams and kind of work with them about all the actors they want, and then go find people around the globe, literally, and then I'll bring the characters to life on the stage. So it's a huge honor and a huge delight that I have. I've been doing a lot of thinking. This is my 10th Blizzcon, which is amazing, and my 6th year hosting voice actor panels. And for me, I've been thinking a lot about you guys because I realized that doing these panels and meeting all of you, I've met so many friends, family, and amazing humans here. So even though I can't see all of you, I feel like you're my tribe and you're my friends and you're my family. So I really love you. I hope you guys know that. Every year I do these panels and I think I want to do something great and make it extra fun because you guys have paid money to get here. You got a ticket, that's amazing, right? And then you've traveled far and wide, so I always try to give you the most epic experience I can give you. But before I start, I want to do one thing. It's my, like I said, 6th year of doing panels. The very first year I did a panel on voice actors was 2013, and I met an amazing young man who came to my panel. He's been at every panel ever since. This is our first year he's not here because he's had some serious health issues since I've known him. He got out of ICU about a week ago. He's doing great. So I want to dedicate this panel from a fan and now a friend that I love dearly. His name is Michael Strong. So let's all cheer for Michael Strong because he's doing great. We love you, Michael. I hope you're watching this. All right. See, I just want to talk. Can we just talk and not do anything? Let's just hang out and chat. All right. I'm going to stop because we've got some great things in store for you. I'm not going to talk anymore. How about I bring up the actors that you're waiting to see? You want to see who I got for you? Great. Voices of War, Horde versus Alliance. Let's see who's behind door number 1, shall we?
Safe travels.
Anduin Rin, come on
Es war klar, es war so klar.
Josh Keaton, everybody.
Es war klar, dass er kommt dafür.
Wer kommt?
Right down here, Josh. Yes.
Mr.
Oh my gosh,
Anduin.
we got so much to talk about with Anduin, don't we? Jesus. All right. So let me move my stuff over here. And let's see if I have Josh, who would be behind door number 2.
I will not fall.
Of course.
Not now.
Das war ebenfalls klar.
Sorry,
Hab auch
Josh.
schon
Sorry,
gedacht.
Josh.
Sylvie.
Right?
Lass mich raten.
Look at her amazing
Jenna
coat. Look at that
kommt noch.
coat. Such a gorgeous dark lady. She's amazing.
Raumene.
All right, so door number 3. Any guesses?
Wanda.
My magic will
Of course.
Sag ich doch, Jenna. Ich wusste es doch. Es war so klar.
Right? Just with these 3 people, we've got a lot to talk about, right?
Manchmal ist
Oh my
die besonders
gosh.
schwierig,
But
wenn
wait,
man
it
nicht
doesn't
weiß,
stop
worum es
there.
eigentlich
Who could be
abgeht.
next?
Ne?
now.
Komm, okay,
Catherine Proudmore, people. And dear
Okay. Okay, das habe ich nicht erwartet.
Catherine, right there. All the way from the UK. And next we have
My chamber walls
Princess
are adorned
Talanji.
with many skulls, but
Troll.
there is always room for one.
Die tollen Trolle.
Right? Look what we do for you. Look what we do. We love you so much. All right. Fun doesn't stop there. Next we have Rokan. Come on out.
Oh mein Gott, das ist Rokan. Hey Mann, was läuft denn so?
Oh my goodness. Oh, look at this. I'm already so happy. It's crazy. Okay, and then I had this person I was gonna throw myself in the sword for if I couldn't get. Are you ready?
Come to the court
Right.
and simulate.
Rossandi.
It's time we finalize.
Sein Name. What?
Bananas, right? You
Ganz schön
know,
viele Troller.
it's so funny when we were recording these characters. I'm like, I don't think you guys understand your life's about to change. I think, are you guys getting a sense of this? A little bit, a little bit. Okay, but I got one more surprise for you. Anybody guesses?
A turtle made it to the water.
Was? 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 Das große Turnier. Really?
Huh? That's fucking.
Marianne has made it to the Blizzcon, everybody. Come on now. Oh, Marianne, how do you feel right now? Do you just feel...
This is absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, none of us would be here who wasn't without my fearless leader, the man who puts up with all my crazy, the one and only, our lead narrative designer, Steve Denuser. Of course,
Okay.
Steve has to come on after Marianne. That was really kind of I feel bad after that chair. I know.
Wow.
Right? Look at this.
What a lineup!
Look
This
at
is
this.
Fantastic, huh?
Part of me just wants to sit here and stare at them. Like, let's just all sit and stare. Like, you know, you think even though this is my job, I still totally fangirl out. Like, really? They're here? And I just want to look at them. I mean, what do you think? We never see them all together like this.
Oh, I know. And we record so much of this stuff, you know, in little rooms, one-on-one kind of thing. And so to see this all come together like
Right.
this just is so energizing.
It's amazing, right?
Amazing.
And then everybody in the middle flew in from London just for this. So this is really extra great. So it's so wonderful. So for all of you guys who know the way I do this, what I tend to do is I like to go through and kind of talk to everybody a little bit about their character and their experience. Then I want to kind of open it up and just talk about the acting process in general. Because a big thing, if those that heard me talk before, is that when people are acting, they're not really acting, they're bringing their own human stories to you. So I kind of want to talk about their connections to their character and dive into all that. But first, shall we start with Anduin? What do you think? Oh my gosh. So I don't know how many of you know this, but Josh is the world's, and I said this with love, biggest WoW nerd in the world. Like, he's your tribe. He talks to me and my eyes roll back in my head. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. So talk about your love for WoW and how you've been playing for a long time.
Yeah, I played since vanilla. My first
Right.
character was an Alliance hunter, and so I'm still kind of salty about what happened to Teldrassil. But
Med i Jäger.
I actually quickly switched to Horde, and I guess I see where I'll
Wait,
Lol.
wait. Did Anduin just say he switched to the Horde?
in the beginning. And I was a Tauren druid, and I love playing druid. I still play a druid. I always play a druid. My current druid is Worgen, but I love playing druids.
But I love that you're Anduin and that you're also playing the game and all the races and
Oh, yeah.
the Horde and the Alliance.
No, I mean I leveled up under the old PvP system. I'm sure all of you remember that. Made it to rank 12.
So
Didn't quite pass general though.
you got to give us all your battle IDs so everybody can follow you and fight with you and play with you, right? You're going to tell everybody what your name is, right?
Everybody's just gonna be like ganking me. I'll do the corpse run all day long. Yeah.
So what was it like? Because I think Anduin, you started playing Anduin in Cataclysm, I think. Do you
Yes,
remember what that was
he
like
was
when
a
you...
teenager.
That's right. What was it like when you got the call to play Anduin?
It was hilarious because I remember when I had my first Horde character, I would always try to attack Anduin in the castle, and then the guards and all the players would come out and I would die, and it was fun. But it was amazing. It was amazing because I had spent so much time in this game, and I loved the lore so much that when it was time to audition, I had so much knowledge of what was happening, like all the people that were referred to in all the scripts and everything. I knew who everybody was who was being talked about, and then actually getting that call that I booked it and that I was going to be the Prince of Stormwind was amazing.
Prince of Stormwind. Who gets to say they're the Prince of Stormwind?
Absolutely.
I love it.
Now he's the king.
I know. And then what I love talking about, all this, obviously you know, I mean, Steve and I joke, we call him Manduin now. He's Manduin.
Yes.
But in all seriousness, I think when we start out...
Trinkets have dropped.
Right. Steve. I love it. But I think when we started with Anduin, we never could have realized the story. Things got really dark for Anduin. I mean, I can think of several sessions when you and I are both in tears.
Yes.
So I mean, what's that been like? Because I think when we started, it was a young prince trying to figure things out, and now he's lost his father. He's trying to fight this great war.
He's been forced into it by circumstance, and at times he definitely was not ready and was looking to him and everybody else for help, but still trying to follow in his father's footsteps as that great leader. It's been a huge growth experience for him to have to really look into himself and see that the way he always wanted peace might not necessarily be exactly how he has to run things. A lot more to what he has to do than what he wants to do.
I still remember the cinematic that we did when you went with Gen to where your father was killed at. You guys, you saw that piece, right? Who cried? Raise your hand if you cried. Well, more of you, just fake it. Fake it like you cried.
I cried.
Well, we were crying, but it was really heavy because to lose your father and have to turn into the man that you were supposed to be, that was really dark. So when you have to do scenes like that, what part of Anduin did you personally connect with? Like, how do you feel in those moments, or the mass heal moments? There's that.
Oh yeah.
How? What part of you do you connect with most with Anduin when you're in those moments with him?
It's hard because I, to this day, have not really experienced, like, my father's still alive, and like I haven't really experienced a lot of that kind of loss. So a lot of it has been me just going into my own head and kind of like role-playing that with important people in my life.
Sure.
And kind of going down those dark paths and seeing where it takes you to really kind of figure out how that loss would feel. And I mean, it does help knowing so much about his history and having played and having seen a lot of the previous cinematics. I mean, just as an actor, a lot of the earlier lore stuff that you guys have done before I came in to do all this kind of stuff really has helped me out. It's such a rich story, and just being able to pull from the story and mix that with what I think would happen in my own life. That's really what I
So what characteristics of Anduin do you think are you? Strong, persevering, scared sometimes? Like, I'm sure you've been scared.
Absolutely.
We all have.
I think we all do. I think we all get scared a lot of the time and have to push out of our comfort zone to really do what we have to do and step up. And that's not always easy. There's definitely a lot of that in me. I mean, as actors, we all face that, where we second guess our choices, we second guess everything. And there's always that insecurity, but you still have to push forward, and that's Anduin.
And I think that's what I love about Anduin. Yeah. We've seen him go through some dark periods, but he always rises and he always gets up. And it's such a lesson to all of us for life in general. Life's going to be hard. There's going to be times we don't want to get up, but we do, and we keep going. So.
Absolutely. He always seems to try to find a positive reason to move forward and to try to find the best in everything. I really respect him for that.
We love you, Anduin. Don't we love Anduin? I just love that Anduin is sitting next to Sylvanas. There's that happening. Patty.
What are you gonna do?
I don't even know what to start with Patty. There you go, see?
So, I'm so glad our little lion had decided to play for the Horde. That means secretly he loves me.
I also might have seen the error of my ways.
So, Patty, your journey, who would have thought? I mean, my God. Crazy town. So what are the words that come to your brain when you think about playing Sylvanas? Like, what's it been like, the journey?
Thrilling.
What do you want to say?
You know, I always say it's an honor because this is a creative village that makes these characters, the games, the scripts, I mean, the writers, so many incredibly talented people, yourself, whom without it doesn't sound anything like you're hearing. Okay. It's the creative village that makes the thing happen. So the first thing that comes to mind for me is always, it's such an honor to be part of this franchise and to be able to play a character for so long that is so complicated. You know, who enters into some really dark places. So that's a challenge, but it's thrilling.
Patty, how do you feel? I want to talk a little bit about your cinematic and what we went through.
Oh my God.
You've seen the Sylvanas cinematic. Very dark times, but beautiful. I think, Steve, talk about the genesis of that Sylvanas story, because it was a heartbreaking, and it was a tough piece to swallow.
Well, yeah, because Sylvanas has that complicated history that, this great hero, to go from someone who was willing to give her life for her homeland, and to see that all turned and forced to do these terrible things, that scarred her. And she carries that to this day. She carries the tears. To see the tears come down and burn into her flesh. Just an amazing character. So much fun to write for. We just love telling Sylvanas stories.
And I love it because those of you who've been to my panels before, I always come back to, we'll talk about this with each of you, how you are your characters. I think when characters really pop, it's because you're bringing such real pieces of yourself to the role. And Patty, if you don't mind, we don't have to go into all the details, but I want to share a little punk rock story about Patty. You want to hear my little story? When we did the piece for Sylvanas, what we do is we talk a lot. We don't have to go into all the nitty-gritty, but we talk a lot about our connections to the character, and I really ask the actresses to talk about their connection to the character. And if you want to shortcut it, Patty, but your connections to what Sylvanas went through in that piece, how we've all been not our best selves at some points.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And we did a little improv.
Yes.
She had us do this improv to
Yes.
really get into the emotional place that
Yes.
required, which was really kind of deep and dark, and filled with rage and angst. And I got a little carried away.
So here's the set. No. So,
I was like, I'm going to apologize before we even start.
Yeah, because the actresses, again, acting is them barring their own heartbreak and frustration, and all of us have tragedy in our life. Patty has had some challenging moments in her life that have made her, all of us, through those moments that were not our best selves. So I kind of did an improv exercise between her and Delaren, played by Erica, where they were two people confronting each other over something happened. It's a long story for the improv. My point was, Patty had to walk into a room and see somebody that hurt her terribly. Got that so far? Hopefully. And Erica had just poured a fresh Coke for herself on this little table she was sitting at, and they were just improvising as themselves. They weren't being Delaren and Sylvanas. They were just being themselves in a horrible situation as an improv. And Erica just opened this Coke. Patty walks in. We're in this huge recording studio, and I think says one word. I'm blocking you. And then just nails that Coke across the recording studio. Coke's all over the equipment, the wall, right? The whole team's like, holy, what? I'm like, nobody move. Let her go. And she's screaming. There's Coke dripping down the wall. Everybody's freaked out.
I've wrecked the studio.
Yeah, I know. There's a huge black patch on the wall.
They did it.
We did not move. Nobody moved because she was in the really primal element of getting to the core of Sylvanas and Sylvanas' heartbreak and rage. So what part of Sylvanas do you think is you? And I don't mean the dark skin, but I mean, like, when you think about Sylvanas, what does she mean to you?
Listen, I love her, and I hope she sticks around for a long time, and I love to play all the complicated pieces of her, even those that are so difficult to absorb. Having had some significant loss in my own life, it's easy for me to tap into that pain and also that anger. For me, I've had a somewhat of a history of domestic violence as a child, and so that lights up a rage in you that never really dies. There's a piece of you that's like Attila the Hun, and so if plugged in at a given time when something's really messed up, that switch turns on, and you're constantly trying to kind of tamp it down. So being able to find a constructive place to put that, like kickboxing. I love to kickbox. It really gives you a place to put that and to bring it into a creative character it's just delicious.
I think we all have that switch,
Thanks
right?
to you guys.
Right.
Hello.
Thanks to all of us.
You guys.
Yeah, well, it really is a village. I think with all of you, Steve and I can do all our prep work and do all that, but as we always say, when the actor walks in the booth and brings their own life story, that's when the magic happens.
Oh, totally. And the thing with Patty is we have to make sure we don't have a bow and arrow around in the studio because she lights that up.
It would take a lot.
I know. Oh, let's give it up for Lady Sylvanas Windrunner. Just amazing.
Thank you.
Then there's Jaina. Oh my gosh.
Jaina.
I know. I just to sit here and see all of you in one place together, such magic. We're all so lucky to be here right now at this moment, aren't we? Really. I'm so filled with gratitude. Laura.
Hi.
So Jaina's been with us for so long. You and I were talking yesterday when we first met ages ago.
Yeah.
We've been here now.
Never.
No.
I was just talking to somebody backstage about when I started Jaina. She's the bright-eyed, blonde hair, wearing a little crop top, and just
she fights better.
Just fresh. Everything was peace, and now look at her. It's insane where we've gone.
So how do you feel connected to her? Like, what's part of you, when you think about Jaina, what do you think about? How do you connect with her as Laura?
Oh gosh. I mean, she's become so powerful, right? So whenever I'm in the booth, it's all about body posture and just coming in with that mentality that she has now. It's funny because whenever we record, I feel like this game is so stylized the way that we record it, you know, and it has such a specific sound to it that has been cultivated over the years, and it's unlike anything else, and that's why it is what it is now.
I think it's been interesting for Battle for Azeroth because we really see Jaina have to go and confront her demons, you know, with Catherine and going back to Kultiris. So I think, you know, again, kind of bring her back to real life. There's been times when we all have to kind of go back and deal with things, whether she is innocent or not, when we've got to deal with dark things, and it's kind of a thing. We all have moments when we've got to go face the music.
And it's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying to confront your demons. It's terrifying to come to somebody that you have wronged and apologize and just take whatever they're going to give you because you feel like you deserve it, right?
Well, I think what's so beautiful is not only the acting in Battle for Azeroth, but the singing piece, right? Who liked the singing piece? But really, because it's singing, but I think I remember when Laura was singing it that day, you had tears by the end of it, but it just got, there's so much acting and that, so much sorrow, so much presence and heartbreak in that. So what do you draw from it? One question I have for all of you, which I'll probably lean on, is when you have to approach a character and kind of be vulnerable and bring tears and find that heartbreak, I mean, how do you do that?
Well, the song specifically, I'm terrified to sing in front of people. I don't know if I let you know that when
No,
we
you
were
didn't
recording.
actually.
I try to fake it when I'm asked to, so that you know.
So you're
people
crying
know.
because you were so scared.
No, but it worked so well for the song because Jaina is so vulnerable in it. You know, she's coming and saying this is what everybody says about her. And it's horrifying.
Yeah.
And so when we were recording it, it was so shaky and overcoming that, and it worked so perfectly for what the piece was. And it came together so beautifully. I was blown away when I watched that. I am so grateful to be a part of something like that.
But I think you make a good point, and I'll speak to this, but as an actor, if you come in for a session, you've got music or emotion you bring in with you, right? So if you're feeling vulnerable and scared, rather than going, okay, I've got to put that away, now I'm going to act, but you are human at the end of the day, so you've got to use it. So
yeah.
So when you, can I ask, when you get in the booth, let's see your Jaina stance.
So-
Can you show us the Jaina stance in the booth?
Wow.
Yeah, let's see the Jaina stance. I think we need.
It doesn't look like anything, you guys. It's this. It's just a power
It's confidence, right? I love it.
That's probably over.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
But that's what's fun. I always threaten every Blizzcon. I'd love to pack all of you in buses. Steve, we're going to do that someday. Pack everybody in buses and go to the studio, because when you see all of them deliver their magic, it's like time stops, don't you think, Steve? Like it's just another experience.
There's countless times when we're in the booth with these actors where, like, no matter, like, I've seen these lines, you know, I've either written them or edited them or seen them, and, you know, there's words that flow and cool words and stuff, but when the performance kicks in, there's just a magic that flows into it, and there's no price you could put on that. It's just, to experience that is just one of the great treats that I have in this business.
Because they're bringing their own heart and soul into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that brings us to our beautiful Indira. Oh my gosh. Catherine, how rad is Catherine Proudmore? Oh
So
my
rad.
gosh. So rad.
So rad.
So rad. That voice, when we were auditioning, we got a bunch of auditions in and we were listening, and then Indira, not because you're here, because I love you. That audition came in, Steve, we're like, and there's Catherine.
Yeah.
There was a confidence, a power, a warmth, and a heart. I mean, all of that was in it. And we just knew there and then. It was delicious.
When Jaina first comes to Catherine, right, in that cinematic, and Jaina's coming before her mother, and Catherine just has that wall, that cold wall, you could stop traffic. I mean, it's amazing.
That's right. So, Indira, how do you approach work like this? I mean, because I think, you know, the hard thing with video games, you don't get a whole lot of backstory and a full script. We kind of give you the main beats, and then off you go. So
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm so overwhelmed by today. I have to admit, this is my first convention.
First it's insane.
I will get back to your question, but
I'm
I've
like,
been wandering around since 10 o'clock this morning, and I watched the welcome, what's it called? The welcome thing.
Opening ceremony.
the opening ceremony, and
Opening
I
ceremony?
was in tears. And I'm not even a gamer.
Ja, na, alles
And
Gamer.
those words that came up when it said "Welcome home,"
We
I was
are
like,
the
oh my gosh, I hear
game.
you.
We are
I feel like I've come home.
Oh.
I don't even speak the language, you know.
What
But
the
I mean,
language?
I feel obviously these are the old pros, aren't they?
Language.
So I'm a newbie. We're new. Well, I don't
Oh,
know about
what is
that.
it?
We're
Yeah.
newbies. So we're just, you know, you enter into the booth, and obviously we're in London, so we're doing it all down the line. And Andrea obviously gives us amazing notes, and thank God I have Laura.
Lang ist ein 2,60 Meter,
Always,
Mike.
but you know, if you're lucky, you have the other character giving you your feed lines, which means you've actually got somebody to work with, which is not. It's not always the case with
Lang ist jetzt der
voiceover.
Tisch mal.
And obviously, when you've got a really good actress on the other end of your scene, you can do something interesting. You know, and then when there's good writing, you know, when you're playing contradictions, that's what I think I love about Catherine, is that she's so many things.
2,10 Meter
She's suffered
sein, ne?
loss.
Oder was
She's
ist das?
disappointed,
1,90.
disillusioned, and she's proud
1,90.
and also far.
Wenn ich jetzt
She's
2,60
willing
Meter
to sort
bin,
of
bin das ja
relay
zu lang,
on
oder?
Ein wenig.
that pride.
So
And
35,
sort of
35
be the
zu.
mother,
Nee.
you know,
Also 2,10
welcome
Meter
her
würde
daughter back
reichen.
in. And what you were asking about, how do you go there? I mean, like all of us, I think when we're born, when we grow up, we're all actors. You know, how do we learn to be human beings? We role play. And I think that's essentially what we do as actors, but we just stage like children, really. We just keep role playing. But I think, and also it's just imagination, isn't it? So, I mean, I'm a mother. I've suffered loss, like all of us probably, in some form or another. And then you just go there, don't you? And a lot of the time, it's not like in the old days when I was like a young student actor and all the rest of it. At drama school, you know, you do the whole method thing, and you're like trying to squeeze out that emotion. Somebody hit me so that I'm actually feeling something. But actually, if it's good writing, you just say it, and the emotion comes. If you're really in that zone and not trying to fake it, and actually there's a vulnerability within that. What you were talking about is the fear of failure and not being good enough, and of not sort of doing justice to the work that's been given to you, the great work that's already there. Not the fear of not doing justice to it. Sort of, you have to get rid of all that and just leave yourself alone, and stuff happens, I think, unexpected stuff.
That's right. I studied theater directing for a while, and my mentor would always say, do all your preparation, do all your thinking, but when you're there, put it down and be in the moment. Yeah. I think as actors, the key is to be present. And it's hard because you get in your head, the insecurity kicks in, but if you can get rid of all that and just be Indira, you know, as I was talking to Indira about this, I tell beginning voice actors now, I'm not looking for voices. When I bring actors, and I'm looking for you to bring your whole life story, your wins, your losses, your tragedies, your heartbreaks. And when actors like Indira, like everybody here, can show up and kind of get emotionally naked and go, here's what I am, and here's as a mother, here's how I connected, here's the sorrow I've been through.
But also, you know what? I think there's something amazing about you doing voice work, which is like, because I act on TV and theatre and all that sort of thing, but I think there's a freedom that you get using your voice, because it's not about the way you look. You know?
Amen, sister.
We are
Amen.
bored of that, quite
That's
frankly.
right. So,
You know, and you're not being judged. You're not judged by your ethnicity, your style, your weight, any of that crap. You are, you know, you're just using your voice, and your emotion comes through your voice. That's we sing to our children when they're born. You know, that is pure emotion and love that we give to other people. You know, I'm really
it's
making
great,
up
it's
now.
great. It's great. But you really highlight what goes into this, and I think voice acting, when people don't realize, and I talk about this a lot, and there's also no scene partner, no hair, no wardrobe, no makeup, no prop. It's just you emotionally naked in a room trying to bring it. But with that, as you're saying, you get ultimate creativity and ultimate freedom, and you can just be, not worry about the right age, the right skin, the right skinniness. You just get to be. It's great. So for Catherine, you know, what I like when I do these panels is to really bring it back to real life, and how, like you're talking about all she's been through. She's lost her husband. She's probably got some PTSD. One of her sons is missing. Everything's crazy. But the idea of of being mad at your daughter, but also forgiveness. Forgiveness is a tough word, man. So finding the courage for that. So I guess as a mother, forgiveness, I guess, what parts of Catherine do you think that you connect with most? Or any of them, or...
I aspire to be like Catherine, I suppose, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I aspire to be able to forgive when you've been through what she's been through, you know. I can't, as just a woman, I mean, I relate to her being a mother and that unconditional love, and if your child has wronged you in some way, or, you know, there's been disappointments, I would like to think I could forgive. I think you're never going to stop being a mother, I think.
That's right, and that's always there. In that pain, I think we're talking about switches that could go on. I don't have any children, but the idea of being a mother with that pain point that can just take you down. And what I really like about Battle for Azeroth, I feel like our storytelling is just amazing. I love having a mother-daughter relationship, right? Because we've had lots of father and sons, and I realized when thinking about this, you know, we've got the Varian and Anduin thing that you're dealing with. We've got the Catherine and Jaina thing. So to have real-life family stories that all of us go through, obviously not to this degree where we've got swords out and we're killing people, but you know what I mean? But to have a mother-daughter relationship. Steve, how did the mother-daughter genesis come about? I mean, I love that we have that storyline in our game.
Well, I think just the setting, once we knew what our expansion was going to be, that we wanted to go to Kultiras, we wanted to hear this story, and it was a great opportunity to bring Jaina back front and center. And then we knew there would be this, you know, all the stuff that she'd been through. What does her family think of that? What do her people think of that? And so to have her mother there to represent all those feelings from the whole nation, and how what the decisions that were made by Jaina, how those ripple out, and to crystallize them into that mother figure like that was just a very powerful opportunity. Our designers did a fantastic job bringing that to life. Our cinematics group, everybody just really nailed that. It's such a believable and true performance that it is something special for them.
You get the nail on the head. I think in Catherine, we see the entire response of the nation, don't we? The nation has to forgive, you know, so basically Catherine's leading the
es war so klar.
does when she comes back. So I think it's beautiful as mother and daughter to see the tenderness and vulnerability and anger and forgiveness. So,
and also empowerment. She says, go. You're the one.
Yes.
You can do it. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be me.
Yes.
You're the future.
Yes. I mean, look, the video games, the more strong women we have in video games, the better. Am I right? I mean, for real. It's just great. It's just great. Speaking, what a great segue for Princess Talanji. Oh my gosh. What? I mean, just when I put my wish list together, people with Steve and I worked on who should come. I'm like, I want everybody to be here. But we knew Princess Talanji had to be sitting. Look, you're at the center even, like holding court, girl. Oh my god. So, welcome to our craze. Again, it's crazy.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I have just had so much coffee and Diet Coke and like, I'm so high right now. Hi everyone. Sorry. That was a few seconds in before I did that. Hi everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, Princess Talanji. But again, I think with all of you, we've had this conversation, like when this hits, especially releasing a new powerful female lead in our game, it's going to get crazy. So now you've done your whole journey. Yeah. So you walk into the con. What's it like? You come through these doors like, this is legit and real.
I cannot believe it. It just, I mean, I wish I was here this morning to see the welcome home thing, because it really does feel like a lot of people are coming home, and you just want to be a part of it, which is exactly how I felt when I was asked to audition. And you know, well, actually, I guess my connection to Blizzard is Cara Theobald, who plays Tracer in Overwatch. So me and Cara did a show called Crazy Head together on Netflix.
Yes. And Crazy Head, it's a great show. The Tracer and Princess Talanji.
And that is sort of, I saw that she just, like, the game had just come out, and I saw like what happened with her and her experience in coming to Blizzcon for the first time. So I was like, God, it really feels like, I was like, oh, somebody let me out. I want to come in. So then when this came, I was like, I've got to get this. And it's just been an incredible experience. I'm really blown away. I've been told that there is somebody that does Princess Talanji here. Yeah. We're going to meet.
Find her. We must.
Hello.
What?
There you are. We're going to meet.
Let's walk over. Oh my gosh.
Look at you.
What? Look at this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Wow. That's oh my god. Wow. Can you
Maybe he's a
walk
cosplayer.
ish, kind of. You just walk on by. Do your thing, girl. Walk on by. Cause you guys have to have.
Oh my
Let's
god!
Wait, stop her.
Sorry.
Come back.
I am geeking out.
Here,
Hi, jump down.
Jump down, girl.
Hi.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh man.
Oh my god. This is. Oh my god, take it.
자,
Oh my god.
I can't.
I know it's
I
amazing.
cannot believe this is what I wanted, and now it's happened.
you
So
can
good
always
luck. Please
Google.
go back. You look amazing. Oh my
Thank you. Wow. The skulls and everything. You look amazing. Thank you for that. See, I told you, girl. I told you it's gonna get crazy.
My job hit.
So, tell me, what's it like? What's it been like playing Princess Talanji? How do you connect to her? How did you approach her? I want to know what she means to you.
Gosh, wow. The connection that I feel with her is she really is. It's a coming of age story of this princess, and the main thing, the reason why I wanted to be a part of this world is because having massive story arcs like that is very difficult in television and film, for a woman, for a black woman, for a woman who isn't a model, proudly not a model. Don't want to be a model. So to sort of, I remember sort of, I got the job and I did my first session, which I think was in LA. I think it was my very, very first one in February, I think. And then just seeing where she goes, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, I get to do this, and I get to have this experience, and this happens at me, and I've got to make this really difficult decision, and I've got to try, and save my people. It just all felt so vast, and the possibilities of where she can go. And normally, when I get a script, it's kind of like, oh, and then she dies in the second scene, and that's it. Or she's like funny for a bit, and then she dies in the third scene. Just keep that one in. Change my agent. No, my agent are great. Please, oh my god. So it was just the amount of work that we did. We worked for months, and I think I've never played a character for that long, and I'm brand new to this, and sort of being a part of something so historic, so well thought out. The scripts are better than anything that you get on television, to be honest, and to be a part of something where it feels like you're here to stay.
Steve will make that happen, right, Steve? She's never going away. Say it now, Steve.
Yeah, well, we've got to talk later.
Damn it, me and my big mouth. But no, that's the biggest thing, to be a part of something where it's like, here is your history, this is what you're a part of, this is where you're going. That was the thing for me that I was like, and I get to play a princess.
I know, there's that. But then to your point, there's such a story to chew on with her, losing her father.
Yeah.
You've had moments, Juan Sandy. We'll get to you in a second.
No.
I'm joking. Yes.
But right, but like there's been sessions with you, and even your lunch,
Yes.
you can hear the tears because there's so much about already just by getting to, we've got themes of loss, heartbreak, and then renewal and rebirth and pushing through. So Talanji is an example. Talanji and Anduin need to have like a coffee someday because I think there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Right, just lost and pushing through, and we've had some dark moments with her.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was like a weirdly, because the thing is, when we do, we're in the UK and we do sessions, normally because of the time difference, we do it in the UK sort of at the end of the day, whereas you guys are sort of like, oh, good morning, where they're like, I've been up for hours. So there's a lot of possibility for things to, during your day, like everyone, things go wrong, or you get some bad news or whatever. And so you really do, I feel like every session I really do I'm sort of my most authentic self, because I'm not sort of trying to be okay. It's 5, 6 p.m. Stuff has happened. So I'm like, hi, got to warm up. And with that scene, I can't really remember what happened with it, but I've lost my dad. So it was all really accessible. And I think feeling part of a safe space to explore that, because sometimes you're part of projects and you don't feel like you want to access that because you don't feel like you're around people who care. But I remember being walked through that, and there's something about your voice where you can't hide. So I was like, I'm just going to have to go there. You can tell if somebody's fake crying, you can hear it. And so actually, even though I knew it was quite big and I knew that it was very close to my life, it was really easy to access. But I think that's down to you guys and making it such a safe space to explore that. Because if I definitely didn't feel like I could, and that this was, you know, more than just a game, it was a family, it was a world, it was a home, I don't think as an actor I would have let myself go there, because there's those times where you get emotionally manipulated as an actor. So that's the main thing, was how easy scenes are because of what
I love what you said, bringing your raw, authentic self. I mean, it's such a theme, and I don't mean to beat this up, but just being you. If you as an actress have a crappy day and you come to studio, then that's there, and that's present, and you use it. So that's when, you know, I say a lot in the classes I teach that we chase the chills. It sounds so silly, because to your point, when you hear a line or a tear or crying or something that's real, all your hair lights up on your body and you know it. So as actors, when you're just in the moment bringing yourself and letting yourself be, whatever that looks like, whatever it feels like, and are in that safe space, that's when we get the chills. And that's when our stories from all of you connect to our community at large, and we're all on this kind of crazy journey together, right?
Yeah.
Well, we love you, Princess Talanji. Yes! I want to move over here. And then there's Rokon.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Just seeing that big smiling face, Steve, we're all here together.
This is so awesome. Oh,
So cool. I know.
Oh, God.
Abu, what do you? I was hanging out having drinks with Abu last night. We're sitting there, I'm like, Abu, I told you. And what's your take so far? It's banana boats, crazy, right? It's just...
Insane. I mean, you guys rock. Like, you're all amazing. Genuinely. Like, yeah, this is...
It's great. It's our tribe. We're home, as Indira said. We're all home. I think all of us on their stage, all of us here together, we're the same tribe, man. And it's kind of fun to be here and just celebrate that, you know?
Yeah, and I really respect that.
Yeah.
And I really feel that. I mean, the love this place has, jeez! Like, it's real, and I really love that.
Yeah. So what's it been like? So playing in our game, Rokon is amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
Along with Talanji and Kicks Holy Ass. Like,
Yeah, it's
what's
great.
it been like for you?
It's been so much fun. I mean, like, I'm a World of Warcraft player as well. Like, I'm a fan.
Right.
You know,
Horde or Alliance?
So I started, right, and give me time. I started as a human paladin, but I am now with the Horde, because that's where I belong. Thank you.
That's the right answer, or the wrong, depending. Steve, what do you play as?
Oh, I
Can't answer?
Well,
Both sides?
For the Horde. Come on. I have both. So what does Rokon mean to you? What'd you say?
This is biased. Not okay.
For the light!
Yes.
I can't believe we're all here. This is our Friday right now. That's great. So Dark Spirit Troll, that accent, that sound, where does that come from? How did you create him?
It's all from the gut. Like, it's from the gut. It comes there from the earth. Like, I mean, like, it's so much fun. I mean, the character's so much fun to play with. I mean, yeah, he's this, you know, this badass troll. This Dark Spirit badass troll with rolling heads left, right, and center. Like, it's amazing and it's so much fun. But again, it's so primal. It's so like visceral. That, I mean, yeah, I had so much fun with this guy. I mean, this guy, he's a beautiful guy. And even though, like, you know, a lot of this, he is beautiful. And even though his race has really suffered, I mean, you know, they've just lost their leader, they've gone through so much pain. There's still that kind of, that love for what they do, that tribalism that they got there, which I just respect. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. There was a lot to mine from Rokon.
And to see that relationship between Rokon and Talanji was really awesome, because it's like bridging these troll cultures and finding that common ground and kind of uniting and being stronger together than you ever were apart. That's awesome.
But I love you calling him beautiful, because he is. I mean, again, we're beating it up here, but this idea that he's gone through a lot too, and he's still there, still wants to be with Talanji, still wants to bridge the gap and form a union. And there's power, and despite the grief and what he's been through, there is a beauty behind him. Maybe he writes haikus when he's home by himself. Maybe he knits. We don't know, Steve. We don't know.
Yeah, we've written some Rokon haiku. Maybe someday we'll put them out
tweet
there.
those out.
We'll tweet them out.
But there's a sound in that earthiness. You're right. I didn't think about it, but he's really a grounded guy. I think he would stand if you had to do a Rokon stance.
Do a Rokon
Now let's
stance.
see a Rokon stance.
Sorry, Laura, I'm gonna just, take this.
No, show me the real power stance.
Rokon stance like this. Kind of walking around like this. He's got it.
It's great. But there is such an earthiness and power to him.
Yeah, and I think that's again, there's a groundedness to it. I mean, there's a groundedness to all these characters. I mean, the world is full of it. It's beautiful. It's real. In the sense that they deal with
100% real.
issues. Each and every one of these characters deal with real issues. And I really, it's rare to get a story where literally anyone can connect to any one of these characters. And I think that's what's so beautiful about it. Because you don't feel alone. You've got someone in there who you can connect to. And I love it.
I love it so much. So, what part of him do you connect with? I mean, just picking up from loss and being strong. I mean, what part of Abu do you think is in Rokon? Besides a great voice in the walk.
Badass. Badass. And badass.
Duh, of course.
No, I think again, it's this whole thing of just teamwork.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
working
great.
with the team.
I love it.
That kind of exploring as well, and the guy's a rogue. I mean, I'm not a rogue yet, but I will. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you can find qualities again. I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like badass is this one that sticks to mind. So.
I love it. Well, you make a good point. I always get asked, is it hard bringing creatures to life? Trolls, orcs, the whole thing. And I say no, because we're still ultimately chasing a base human emotion. No matter what physicality they're in, there's always a base human emotion.
Yeah, and it's really easy as well, like to think of it as, oh yeah, these guys are creatures. Again, there's this whole thing of like, oh, but the Horde are bad. They're not bad. Like you've got these different characters. They've all got human type qualities,
That's right.
right? And I think that's what each and every one here is brought out. And I think that's why this world is so beautiful. Even with the writing and everything, it's just you can all relate to them.
Unless you're Bwan Samdi, king of the death. Beautifully said, Abu, beautifully said. Then there's you. Everybody loves it. I've been waiting to share Bwan Samdi with you. Alex, tell us where this voice, this character, where are you pulling him from?
Well, the year was 1970. No. Okay, initially, first off, this is so damn cool.
It's your first con as well, right?
This is my first. I'm a new initiate, y'all. And it's good to be home, for real. So, Bwan Sam, I remember initially getting the call, all right, what are you looking for? And I was Jamaican, African, what? This makes no sense at all.
Steve.
Wow. But all right, here's a fun fact. The origin of the idea for me for Bwan Samdi was from a movie I love called The Harder They Come, which is an old Jamaican movie. And there's a man that talk like this the whole time. And then what had happened was, as I went in there and just started having more fun with it and became more mischievous. And I'm so grateful for you, because everything we did, we just said, have more fun. And we just kept having fun until he blossomed into this guy.
That's what's great, just giving the actors space to do what they want to do. And you owned Bwan Samdi. I mean, Steve, right? I mean, really.
That's a perfect example of, we come in, we think, man, we got this cool idea for a character, we really get to pay off this lore and stuff like that, and then to have someone just take it to the stratosphere. We're rolling in the session, we're just dying laughing at the stuff he's just going with. Is amazing, amazing.
Right. So, can we see, because when Alex records Bwan Samdi, you have a whole kind of stance you do. So I want you to bring your Bwan Samdi here on stage right now. What do you guys think? You do a whole,
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple, so depends on how mischievous. We got the lean back. So you want a little bit more. So there's always a flow. And actually, the key is to make sure you have purple reading glasses on.
That's perfect.
That is the key.
So what part of you do you bring to Mike? When you think about Bonsandi, what does he mean to you? How to approach him? Because he's not a bad guy. He's mischievous.
Yeah.
He's there to make a deal.
You know, it's funny too, because I remember reading the first cinematic, and I'm like, oh wait, so you get some, but what does Bonsandi get?
Right.
Honestly, he wants love.
That's right. I think so.
He really does. But you know, I definitely the mischievousness. I also have my parents are from Haiti, and so when I think about Bonsandi, I think about old Haitian lore as well, which is Bonsandi. So there's that rootedness there as well, and well, I don't know if it's a connection to me. What I love about playing Bonsandi is his slow, manipulative style. Now, I'm not saying that's how I am, but I might need a favor from you later, that's all.
I love it.
Don't take the deal. Don't take the deal.
I know.
It's bad. It's bad.
Oh, how much do we love Bonsandi? Let's give it up for Bonsandi. All right, I saved the best for the last, am I right? I saved the best for the last. Scroll Sage Nola, Marianne, what are you thinking right now?
Wow. And thank you so much. I really appreciate your going along with the character and stuff and sending all that love. I really appreciate it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, Marianne, do you remember when I first told you the Twitter world was blowing up about you? Did you believe me then, or you weren't really sure, and now here we are?
No, she told me that, and I said, "You're kidding, right?" So really, I didn't expect it. Truly appreciate it.
So what part of you is Scroll Sage Nola? I think the part I know of you is you're such a loving, beautiful woman. And I think what we love about those lines is it feels like she's talking to us with full of love, right? So how do you feel about Scroll Sage Nola?
Well, I think she says a lot of what I think.
Right.
And I agree, and I especially love helping people. So, yeah, people, turtles.
We love her.
I'm in for it.
Yes. Okay. All right. We love you so much. So I'm so glad to have you here to celebrate you.
Thanks.
So I've got the wrap. We got to start closing up really quick. I think on your cards you have lines of your character. Can you just go through and read the top 2 lines so we can hear your voices? Here we go.
A just cause is always worth fighting for. Sylvanas Windrunner, you have led the Horde to a place without honor. Lordaeron is ours. It's over.
Look at you, the boy playing soldier.
Yeah.
Muzzle your dog, your majesty.
Ja. Zügelt den
I
Köter.
would be so proud. Is that his? Why, you've gotten it all bloody. You call for peace when it suits you, little lion, but you're quick enough to kill.
Beautiful.
Were we supposed to do all of them?
Oh, just 2 of them. We got it. Top 2 lines. Here we go.
Okay. I am Jaina Proudmoore. I come for an audience with Lord Admiral Catherine Proudmoore, my mother.
You are no daughter of mine.
But I love you! I accept your judgment, mother.
My daughter, forgive me. Forgive your father, and forgive yourself.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
Right,
Yeah,
I've got a
go.
lot here. So, Almighty Rezan, as always, you come when I ask for your aid. I have sought the aid of the Horde, but my father may not agree with my actions. Advise me. Zandala forever!
Oh.
getting mixed up in the voodoo. Nothing
Mr.
gonna
Zombie.
stop the horde.
Oder?
Great. All right, Buon Samedi.
Yes,
That's not
yes.
so
So
zombie.
you get your kingdom back, all very nice. But soon you're tired of old one, son. The one who brings the mean and the
wir haben alle Spaß.
No,
Ja?
I need more. They're just
Die so Spaß haben.
So
Die
good.
so sowas machen. Das ist Spaß.
We got a deal.
All right. Let's do these two, Marianne, right here, the last two.
The cycle of life can be cruel. A turtle made
Wie
it to
spricht
the
sie denn
water.
überhaupt?
Entschieden.
Entschuldigung.
Oh my gosh. All right, all right. I love it. Okay, so guys, this is usually the part where we have the Q&A, but I got something crazy up my sleeve. We can't do Q&A, but if you trust me and let me do this, let's start clearing things out here, everybody. We've got something in store for you. Can you trust me? Can I do this? You give me some
Nö,
space to do
das
this?
Freunde nicht.
You won't regret it, okay? So we're just gonna move some things around here, and then we're just gonna do one last little thing. So give us a couple seconds.
Oh, funktioniert.
Man sieht nichts.
Kommt jetzt.
So I didn't think it would actually happen. So I had this idea, I pitched it, we talked to the teams, we talked to events, and I thought they're not gonna actually let me do it, but they're letting me do it. So let me see if we are we ready? All right, so guys, I'm dedicating this piece to all of you. You know, we wouldn't have a voice actor stage or a voice actor panel if it wasn't for you, our community, our tribe, our friends, and our family. So I'm feeling all weepy right now because I want to tell you I love you. And I dedicate this piece to all of you from all of us. Enjoy.
Was kommt jetzt?
Ah. Okay, nicht schreien, Leute. Nicht durchdrehen.
Beware, the daughter of the sea. Beware, I heard him cry. His words carry upon the ocean breeze.
Oh my God.
As he sank beneath the tide. Those blood-soaked shores of Calendor, where sailors fought and died, the admiral fell, and there are more because she left his side.
Why this, oh daughter of the sea? Why this?
Schön, Schiffchen.
Ein Schiff.
Ja, Mr. Sparrow.
I'm listening now. Father. Across the ocean breeze, the old voice warning me. Beware, beware, the daughter of the sea. Beware, beware.
Of me.
Ja, greif. Nicht durchdrehen, Leute.
What? Ladies and gentlemen, the Warbringer piece live. Oh my gosh. Our wonderful Laura Bailey, our composer Logan LaFleur, the Blizzard's audio choir Felipe, Jeff, Tony, and Cody. Let's give it up for this amazing live performance. All of our voice actors come back on stage. Was it worth it? Did you like my surprise? Did you like it? We had to do it. We had to do it. So everybody back on stage. Let's give a huge round of applause to all of our amazing voice actors. Let's come back up on stage. Abu, Marianne, we good? All right. I present you with the Voices of War, Horde versus Alliance. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here. We're going to be signing autographs in a bit, so we'll see you next year. Love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Meine Güte.
Aber halt zu viel Emotion.